In a world where mobile games were all about crushing candy or flinging birds, one man chose a darker path, not to save the world, but to destroy it. Over 160 million players, one disease, one mission, infect the world. This is the story of how a single developer, with no formal coding background, created one of the most disturbingly addictive strategy games ever made, and how that game would go on to mirror real-life global events in ways no one expected. The year was 2011. James Vaughan, a British strategy consultant, was deeply interested in the fragility of human systems. He had a comfortable job and a curious mind, but in his spare time, he found himself drawn not to building businesses, but to tearing down societies digitally. He had played the flash game Pandemic 2, which allowed players to unleash a disease upon the world. It was entertaining, but he felt it lacked the complexity and realism he craved. He wanted more than chaos. He wanted strategy, nuance, simulation, so he made a decision to build his own game, one that would feel chillingly plausible. The problem? He had no background in game development, no team, no funding, just a vision and a copy of the Unity engine. James began to teach himself to code, one tutorial at a time. He spent nights balancing infection rates, modeling international travel routes, and figuring out how to simulate human panic. He read medical journals, watched virology lectures, and consumed data on how real diseases spread. And slowly, methodically, he built his game. The concept was simple but brilliant. The player becomes the disease. The goal is not to save the world, but to end it, before humanity can fight back with a cure. Every decision in the game mattered. Mutate too quickly, and the world panics before you've infected enough people. Stay too stealthy, and they'll develop a cure before you're lethal. It was a strategic dance between chaos and control. In May 2012, Plague Inc. launched on iOS. There was no major marketing push, no advertising campaign, just a well-designed game and a terrifyingly compelling premise. And then it exploded. Word of mouth drove downloads. The game shot to the top of the App Store charts. People couldn't get enough of it. It felt like playing with fire, but safely on your phone. Soon it wasn't just gamers who were hooked. Scientists, healthcare workers, and epidemiologists began playing too. Some praised the game for its surprisingly accurate representation of disease dynamics. Others used it to teach students about the importance of prevention and response. The numbers were staggering. Plague Inc. crossed tens of millions of downloads. It expanded to Android, then to PC, rebranded as Plague Inc. evolved. It even became a board game. What started as one man's personal project had become a global phenomenon. In 2013, something remarkable happened. The CDC, the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, invited James Vaughan to speak at their headquarters in Atlanta. They recognized that his game had done something rare. It had made the science of disease engaging. By 2015, Plague Inc. had reached over 85 million players. By 2018, that number had nearly doubled. The game was localized in multiple languages, featured on countless top charts, and inspired a generation of players to think about the world in a more systemic way. But nothing could prepare James or the world for what came next. In early 2020, as headlines about a novel coronavirus began to surface, Plague Inc. saw an unexpected spike in popularity. Downloads surged globally. People wanted to understand pandemics, and many turned to the one game that had simulated it all years before. Suddenly, the in-game map, with its spreading red dots and collapsing nations, felt uncomfortably familiar. Players compared their experiences in the game to what they saw on the news. Was this real life imitating art? James Vaughan was quick to respond. Pandemic Creations issued statements clarifying that the game was fictional and not a model for real outbreaks. But they didn't stop there. They took action. In March 2020, the company donated $250,000 to the World Health Organization and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness. Later that year, they released a new game mode, The Cure. In this version, players weren't the disease, they were the response. They managed public health policies, vaccine rollouts, and global communication to stop the spread. It was the perfect counterbalance to the original game, from destroyer to defender. Today, Plague Inc. remains one of the most iconic mobile games ever created. Its blend of strategy, education, and eerie realism has earned it a place in both gaming and public health history. And at the center of it all, one man. No coding degree, no big studio, just a powerful idea and the will to bring it to life. Plague Inc. didn't just go viral, it taught us what that word really means. Plague Inc. Still spreading ideas?